I started going to the gym about 15 years ago for the same reason most guys do, to build confidence and to get women. But what kept me consistent for 15 years now wasn't the women, it wasn't the confidence, it's how it completely changed my life. And what I'm about to talk you through today, it's not from theory, it's from my lived experience and from also coaching hundreds of men to achieve the exact same results that I've achieved. And I noticed something early on, myself included. Most guys are chasing women or chasing money, chasing freedom, without actually mastering ourselves first, our mind, our body, our habits. And we're doing it completely backwards. Because it's the guys who chase progression, chase discipline in their day-to-day life, their physique, their mind, their body, their habits. Chasing progress within yourself, that's how you attract a woman. That's how you attract the freedom. And that's how you build the actual life that you are after. I was that typical Irish lad. Grew up, rural Ireland, just about to scrape my leaving cert, just about to scrape through college, spent most of my time getting pissed up rather than actually in college. Finished that, went and started a job in a factory. And in the factory I was working crazy shifts. It was like 12-hour days, sometimes starting, I think it was 7 p.m. in the evening, finishing at 7 a.m. And one week I was starting 3 days and finishing at night. I'd have like 24 hours to rest and then I was back in on a night shift. So my schedule was completely fucked up and all over the shop. I was drinking still and sometimes midweek because it was basically like college again, but just a different kind of a routine, and I had to show up to work this time, but I had a lot more money. So I could spend a lot more money and blow a lot more money. I then, 6 months of that, I got fed up. One of the lads said, let's move to Canada. So jumped on a plane to Canada, Vancouver. Didn't know where the hell it was at the time, but moved there, and that was, again, that was a really good time, to be fair, because I moved in and I'd done a lot of growing up in that time because I moved into an empty building. Firstly, had to find an apartment, moved into an empty apartment, had to furnish it, was paying bills properly for the first time. Everything just was like, okay, now it's real life shit. But I was also in the same mindset of I wanted to get drunk every weekend. I wanted to have the crack. So I got into a construction job. I started getting paid. And my money, this is how bad it was at the time and like where my headspace was at. I was living on a blow-up mattress for months on end because I was fucking blowing all my money on drinking drugs every single weekend. Like that's where my headspace was at. It was like from the age of 16 up to like 24, 25, I was in a position where like partying, getting drunk, it was my main priority. That's what I loved doing. That was the crack. And yeah, I was living on a blow-up mattress for months and months and months. And then I was like, okay, this is a bit stupid, to be fair. Like, let's be real. But my life in Vancouver was working Monday to Friday, working hard, putting my all into work, and just getting absolutely wasted on the weekends. And I stopped one day and I realized I was coming back on the SkyTrain. So in Vancouver, they have these SkyTrains, really good transport in the sky, in a train, basically. But I remember I was like stinking from head to toe. It was a really wet day, covered in shit. And I was like, this can't be it. Like, this actually cannot be it. People were literally to the point where they were moving away from me on the train because I stunk so much and there was just nothing I could do. It wasn't what it was. I didn't have a truck, I didn't have a car, I had to get the SkyTrain. But I remember each and every day I'd go into Starbucks to get a coffee. And I could see people drinking their coffee, sitting on their laptops. This is midday, having meetings. I'd be coming in, again, covered in shit, getting my coffee. But I was like, how are these people doing this? Like, what do these people do? And I was like, that's what I want. I was like, I want to be able to have a laptop. I want to be able to go to a coffee shop, have freedom to go wherever I want, whenever I want. obviously, I didn't know what they were doing, but I just liked the visual look of the freedom that they have. And I was like, that is what I want. That is what I need in my life. I can't keep going to work, working a 9 to 5 where I'm just getting through the day, can't wait for it to finish so I can get drunk on the weekends. I was like, there has to be more to life than this. In this time as well, I was training. I had been training. So from the age of, like, as I said, 15, I was training, and that stayed consistent the whole way through. But it was to the case of, or it was to the point where I was just like, Monday to Friday, I was getting, my 4 to 5 gym sessions in. I was eating relatively healthy. And for sure, I felt good when I was training. I looked better when I was training. But it was my destructive habits, my vices that were just holding me back and not allowing me to get to that next level with my physique, with my confidence, with my energy, with my cognitive function. It was like I had felt a slight benefit and it was enough to keep me going, but the vices were completely taken over. Realistically, they were keeping me stuck at a certain level, okay? But then once I kind of got exposed to what was actually out there when I moved away from my home country and my hometown, I was like, okay, there's people working on laptops. They look good. They're dressed well. I got exposed to that. And then that to me was like, okay, well, actually, I want a part of that. And then I realized what I was doing every weekend was like dragging me down. So yes, I was going to the gym. I was making a little bit of money. So I was going up. But then the weekends, boom, they dragged me down. The vices would take over. And I was like, okay, let's cut the fucking vices. That's what needs to go. The alcohol went. I said no more alcohol. I moved into an apartment out. I was kind of living with a lot of people who drank a lot, and I was part of that as well. I loved it. As I said, I truly loved it. But I was like, okay, I need to make a change here now, because as I said, from the age of 16 I was drinking. Up until the age of now 25, I was like, my life didn't really look much different. I was in a different location. I was making a little bit more money. But I was like, if I keep doing what I'm doing, another fucking 10 years is going to pass by. And I may not like where I'm at. At 35 years old, I might not like where I'm at if I don't take total control of my day-to-day life now. And that scared me at the end of the day. That did scare me, because it flashed like that. And I was like, I can't let another 10 years flash like that. And I'm in the exact same position, maybe in a different location, maybe with a little bit more money, but still working a 9 to 5 and still probably getting drunk on the weekends. Who knows at the end of the day. But I wasn't leaving that to chance. So I was like, I have to take control now. Quit the booze, moved into an apartment out a little bit, and hired a coach, hired an online fitness coach, because as I said, I've been training the whole time, but I'd never fully committed to the point where everything was dialed in. My macros was dialed in, like on point. My training, I was progressing it. I was following a specific program designed for me. My cardio, my supplementation, my sleep schedule. I just dialed everything in from head to toe, because it was the first time that I'd given up alcohol, really, and it was the first time that I could fully commit to something. Okay, so I signed up to an online coach, which was not really heard of at the time. I went all in for an 8-week block, okay? 8 weeks, I completely transformed my physique, completely. I seen vascularity, I seen abs for the first time, capped shoulders, and that really gave me a lot of confidence. Yes, I had a bit of confidence from having built a little bit of muscle, but from actually going all in and getting to that 10% body fat, I was like, holy shit. I was like, I've been trying to do this realistically for years. Within an 8-week period, because I had the base built, I could get to a position where I was shredded, okay? And yeah, that felt good. But what happened with that? My mental clarity massively improved. My energy levels on a daily basis improved. As I said, I eliminated devices, so I literally had Friday, Saturday, Sunday brought back into my life, where it was before it was spent getting drunk. It was now my time to grow and focus on self-development, to listen to more podcasts, to get more qualifications with my PT course. I invested heavily into my education and invested heavily into mentors to help me get the life that I wanted, okay? So yes, getting into the gym was the foundation, And yes, getting to 10% body fat was what really transformed my life. But the reason that I stay doing what I do each and every single day, hitting my macros, gym, training, cardio, everything's on point, it turns you into a completely different person. A man that is actually capable of building his dream reality, because you can think clearly, you get ideas, you understand what you want out of life, and you learn to say no to the things that bring you away from life or away from the life you want, and you just prioritize the things that move you towards the life you want. You prioritize the people, the relationships, discipline that you gain from building the physique, maintaining the physique year round. That's what essentially has helped me scale my business to six figures, working online, helping people transform their lives, to lay the foundation with their daily habits, build the body, to then start chasing their bigger dreams, their bigger goals. Like, as an example, I had a guy reach out to me. He's 8 weeks in. He just met his girlfriend. He just met a beautiful girl in the gym. She's now his girlfriend, and he'd been kind of struggling to get women, but he actually found a woman in the gym, and he's just buzzing. So like within 8 weeks, because he's in the right environments, he's getting up early, he's going to the gym. Who are the kind of people you meet in the gym nice and early? You know what I mean? They're people that are on their shit, that prioritize their health and have a similar outlook on life a lot of the time as well. Okay, and have similar values. So he's now found his dream girl. There's guys I've been with working for a year, and he's in the, I'll actually show you the physique. Give me 2 seconds. Started with me a year ago in a really bad position, and now is completely transformed his life. He's literally in peak, like he's in the top 1% in terms of his physique, but he's also starting his online coaching business. I have multiple guys starting their online coaching businesses. I can show you, I'll give you 2 examples. Like, look at this transformation. This is from here to here. He's now in the top 1%. And you might think, okay, yeah, well, he's gone. But actually look at that. Like, look at from where he was compared to there. If you think that is just about what you look in the mirror, think about his eating habits there, how he felt on a daily basis, his energy levels there compared to there. It's night and day. The other guys who've, started working with me years and years and years ago, completely out of shape, had a solid foundation, but is now in the process of, he just took on his first 3 online clients. So from here, really successful in his career, but has now started his own business, to here. It goes so much deeper than just the visual looks. Everything improves. Your life improves. Your relationships. You attract the women into your life. You attract new opportunities. You attract networks. You build the networks that you could always dream about when you were a kid. I can travel to, I'm currently in Marbella. I can go to London. I can go to Ireland. I can go to Dubai, Australia, Thailand. I know people in all these countries, still in America, still in Canada. I know people here because of the networks that you can build, good people that I can give a call and fly over to if I wanted to next week. And I know the power of committing to the gym and actually just going all in. There's one thing about going to the gym and eating healthy. That's one thing. But going all in and fully committing to the gym, getting to a position you've never got to with your physique, because it builds the character traits needed to build the dream life, to attract the right people. So commit to the gym. Just go all in, 110%. I promise you, you will not regret going all in on your physique, on your body, your mind, your habits. You will not regret it. If you block out a 6-month period to fully commit to yourself, you can completely transform your life. And as I said, this isn't from theory. This is from my own fucking experience. This is from coaching hundreds and hundreds of guys. I've seen patterns reoccur. Okay, there's a specific framework that you can follow to get you from your current position that I've lived, that my clients live, to get you from a position where you are currently right now to a guy who's an aesthetic high performer, to a guy that is in total control of his mind, his body, his habits, his life. And there's 4 phases to total control. The priming phase, where you lay the foundations, you eliminate the vices, because the vices will hold you back. You stabilize your energy, your hormones, your nervous system. Create the routine in the priming phase. You go into the peak phase where you become physically and mentally unrecognizable. You do the internal work as well as the physical work. You go then into the reverse phase where you install the systems to be able to actually maintain the results long term. No rebound, there's no regression, lifelong results. And this is where I see most people mess up. And that's the key, to reverse out correctly. And then you're in the phase where you're in total control, where you're compounding growth physically, mentally, and professionally. It's the phase where you are literally every single day building the dream life you want, getting 1% closer to that life and living the life at the end of the day, because you know, as you can tell, guys, I don't script these things. So I'm just talking raw, okay? You always end up raising the bar for yourself, because you actually, right now I'm living my dream reality. So when I say you are progressing towards your life, it's funny because it's like I'm currently living my dream reality. I'm literally here in Marbella, recording to a camera screen, talking to you. This is my dream life. Like, this is what I dreamed about when I was on the construction site. So when I say you're compounding growth, you get to a position in life where it's like things are good, but it's the progress that you want to keep striving for more and more and more. And not in a greedy way or not in a way that you're never grateful. I'm truly grateful for my life. If I wasn't grateful, I wouldn't be doing this. I'm truly, truly grateful for everything in my life right now. But this is my purpose. This is what I'm aligned to do right now. Me working, helping you and creating content and coaching my clients to be able to live the reality that I can live every day. That is literally my calling and my purpose. And what I mean by compounding growth on a daily basis is just getting better at what I do. Literally building my physique better and stronger every day. Building a stronger mindset, getting more aligned with God, the universe, whatever you want to call it, and professionally and my relationships. Just growing and having the most impact that I can in the world. So that's the total control phase. Everyone's different, okay? But when you're in that total control phase, you're compounding growth physically, mentally, professionally, and in your relationships. You're just becoming a better individual, getting those 1%. And it's the greatest place to be in. I'm not gonna lie. And I'll leave you with this. Your daily habits dictate your future. Each day that you don't break the cycle that you're currently in, you're reinforcing those bad habits. You're making them more powerful. You're making them stronger. And it's just pulling you away from that dream life that you truly want and that you are capable of. Because at the end of the day, if the kid that was working in a construction site, who was prioritizing getting fucked up on the weekends over buying himself a bed for a couple of months on end, can do it, so can you. You just need to fully commit to it, and you can build a dream reality, the dream life that you want. And I know it might seem a million miles away from now. Trust me, I was covered in shit on a SkyTrain, struggling, in pain, not knowing that I could literally be here right now. But when you move towards your goals, and once you gain that mental clarity and you move towards them, things open up quickly. I think 6 months changes your life. I don't care what anyone says, it changed my life. I've seen it over and over and over again with all my clients. 6 months, fully commit. Because if you want that life of freedom, if you want the relationships, the travel, the network, the freedom, you need to become the man in total control. Your mind, your body, your habits. It's as simple as that. There are no shortcuts. It comes down to what you do each and every day. Stop looking for the quick fixes. And if you want to work with me one-to-one, there's a link below. You can click it. It'll direct you to a landing page. You can put in your information. We can have a chat, strategize, see exactly where you're at, where you want to get to, show you how the exact framework would work to get you there. And if it aligns, we'll crush it at the end of the day. I know we will. But if not, I hope you took value from the video. Make sure to like, subscribe. Peace and love, Makara.